Things that are truly valuable are the ones that are aligned with you. What do you want to want? They're the things that you want to want, and that's what you end up going for. Most hardworking people realize that on the other side of difficulty, on the other side of effort, is something that is worthwhile. There are very few things that are worthwhile getting that aren't difficult, because if they weren't difficult, they wouldn't be worthwhile. But just because something is difficult doesn't mean that you should put it upon a pedestal. You could say that becoming an arms dealer is very difficult. I'm sure it is. I'm sure the arms dealer industry is incredibly competitive and ruthless. But like, it doesn't mean that it's a worthwhile industry to try and get into. So you need to make sure, especially if you're the sort of person who realizes that you have a capacity for dealing with difficult things, suffering, working hard, grinding, you need to make sure that the reason that you're doing something is because you actually value it, not simply because it's something that's difficult. And if you're looking to find lessons through suffering, I think that you're going to be able to get them more reliably by doing something that is well beyond the bounds of what you think that you can do. And I think that in that is where you're going to find that the ceiling of what you thought your capacity was has been lifted. And the lesson that you learn from that is, okay, well, where else do I have limiting beliefs in my life? What are the other areas of my life that I think that this is as good as I can be? And wow, I didn't think that me and my 3 buddies could walk this rock across the bottom of the ocean for 1 kilometer, but we did it. It took us 6 hours, but we did it. Okay, what else? Maybe the way I'm showing up for my partner. Maybe the way that I'm dealing with bad, difficult conversations with my parents. Maybe the way that I'm drinking on an evening time. Maybe all of these things, it blows open your expectations because one lesson spreads across into all different domains. One of the most common traits amongst the high performers, mostly the men, but amongst the high performers that I speak to, they are electing to put themselves through hard things very frequently. Yeah, consistency is the most reliable trait that all of the successful people that I've been around have got. Like, no one is successful who isn't consistent. Consistency won't guarantee success, but not being consistent will guarantee that you won't be successful. And electing to do hard things very regularly would probably be a close second, I think. Where does the desire to continue to push when you've already achieved enough come from? And how do we know when we're pushing too hard that we're compromising things that we truly do care about, right? Because we get distracted by the desire for success so much. And yeah, the doing hard things thing pushes you into a place that the world can't. You know, when you are the guy that runs the company, or that has done the self-work, that has found the wife, that has done the whatever. And this is one of the reasons why I think that, you know, you look at older dudes that are getting, Jocko's a good example. I think he's in his 50s, and he, 4:30 or 4:20, 2 a.m. or whenever that watch photo goes up every single day, he's up, he's working out, he's doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he's trying to build a company, all the products in the company that he's trying to build are responsibly sourced, or like, you know, no preservatives and all this stuff. So he's like trying to be ethical as possible. Building boots made in Idaho or wherever it is, American sourced, American made, all of these things, like really trying to live the ethos of being aligned. He's sold millions of copies of his book. He didn't need to do this. But if he didn't go out of his way to find things that were difficult for him, there would be no difficulty left in his life. His success has snowplowed so much stuff out of the way. And this is why, as guys age, I think it's even more important, because your success is going to make life even more comfortable for you as you grow up. So you need to continue to find things. Okay, where can I be humbled? I'm going to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with someone who's got twice the skill set that I do. If it was me and that curiosity went away, I have no idea what would be left. It is by far, it is weapons grade, pharmaceutical grade, the desire that I have inside to understand myself and the world around me. I'm interested in things. If people stop being curious, as far as I'm concerned, I'm sure that you can, there's tons of people that aren't curious who have perfectly happy and successful lives, but I think that you are missing out on one of the most powerful fuels. And it's so beautiful because it keeps your ego just as small as doing difficult, suffering things, because you don't have an agenda. You just want to know. Inbuilt in being curious and interested on what's on the other side of this question that you're asking is the truth. Because what you're asking is to find out what the truth is. I want to know what is on the other side of this question I have. Why the shoes people and the not shoes people? Why is it that these guys have acted in a way different to how I would have expected? Because Chris is the leader and Chris has this type of demeanor as well. What is it that's causing this to happen? And isn't that interesting that it's different to some other company? I've been around other companies with guys of a similar age and a similar demographic, and they're totally different in the way that they're... Okay, well, I'm not coming into this with some ideology. I'm coming into this because I want to find out what's real. I want to find out what's true. And it's just such a beautiful, powerful driving force for you to go out and work hard. And on the other side of it, the degree of satisfaction that is available for people when they have two different concepts that they haven't realized are linked together and they put them together is when you're like, fuck, I've been thinking about this thing, thinking about this thing, thinking about this thing, and you learn something new and you go, holy fuck, there it is. There it is. I understand how these two ideas fit together in a really interesting way. If people lose their desire to be curious, if they don't, even if you don't fully embrace it, you are neutering your ability to grow. You're neutering your ability to be driven forward. You will be more easily captured by ideology. You will be more easily led astray by the biases and the confused chemical signals of your body and your mind. It's like a superpower. Being curious is like a superpower. And it's one of the reasons why when I started the show, it gave me an excuse to be professionally curious, basically. And that gave me a degree of satisfaction that I hadn't really felt before. Just sitting at dinner and asking people interesting questions is like the most likable thing that you can do. And the best part is it's not disingenuous. You're not playing a role. You genuinely do care about what this thing is. It's not performative in any way. And then when they tell you something, you get to learn. Like you come out of that situation. Asking questions is by far the most selfish thing that you can do, because you get to find everything that's in the other person's head. And yeah, maybe they ask you a question and then you get to give them something in return. But if they don't ask you a question back, you're like, okay, well, I just get to keep on mining away in this psychologist or this endurance racer or this sociologist or this sex worker, like whatever. I just continue to find out interesting shit from what's been going on in their life. There was a cool study that was done. They put a guy on a plane next to another passenger, and it was a long flight, like maybe 8-hour flight. And this person had to keep the other guy talking for the entire flight, but reveal no information about themselves. So he did it, gets off the flight. The participant that he was asking the questions of came and they said, so we're just doing a little survey about the other clients and passengers that were on the plane. Could you tell us who you're sitting next to? He said, I was sitting next to this it's such an interesting guy. Really, really fantastic. One of the best flights I've had in ages, actually. They said, oh, can you tell us what his name is? What did he do? Where was he from? Nothing. This person was just so enthralled by somebody that took an interest. And everybody's interesting. Everyone's got interesting shit to say if you dig deep enough.